Satoshi Nakamoto was a genius, sure, but what if I told you the core of Bitcoin was actually invented 17 years before Satoshi even showed up in some dusty laboratory? Let me take it a step further. The original goal of this technology, which crashes exchanges and is worth billions today, wasn't to create money. It was just to timestamp digital documents. Hold on to your wallets, because half of the crypto history you've been told is a lie, and the other half is missing pieces. Let's warp back to 1991. The internet is barely crawling, and the digital world has a massive problem: trust. How do you prove a digital file, like a photo or a contract, hasn't been altered retroactively? In the real world, you go to a notary, pay a fortune, and they stamp a physical paper. But there are no notaries in the digital realm. Enter Stuart Haber and Scott Stornetta, two scientists at Bell Labs who rolled up their sleeves to fix this. Their solution was locking documents together with a cryptographic chain, an encrypted link. In this system, you add a summary of the previous document to the next one. If you change a single letter in the past, the entire chain breaks and your cheating is instantly exposed. So yes, the first blockchain wasn't a financial ledger. It was the world's most secure, unchangeable time-stamping machine. A year later, in 1992, they integrated Merkle trees. The name sounds fancy, but the logic is simple and life-saving. Let's say you have thousands of documents, and adding them one by one slows down the computers. A Merkle tree takes all those documents, runs them through a mathematical process, and crushes them into a single root summary. Think of it like compressing an entire library into a single line of text. Without this tech, Bitcoin transfers today wouldn't take hours, they'd take years. Haber and Stornetta held a perfect engine in their hands, but the car to put it in hadn't been invented yet. While the world ignored this invention, a group of anarchist coders known as Cypherpunks woke up in the dark corners of the internet in the late 90s. These guys had one goal: privacy and freedom. David Chaum came out with DigiCash, tried to cut deals with banks, and went bankrupt. Why? Because his system was still centralized. You had to trust a company. If the company went under, so did your money. Wei Dai proposed B-Money. Nick Szabo proposed BitGold. They got very close to the idea of digital gold, but they couldn't solve the double spending problem. There was no decentralized police officer to stop you from copying a digital coin and spending it at both the grocery store and the bar at the same time. Then Hal Finney entered the stage. This guy wasn't just a coder, he was a visionary. In 2004, he developed RPOW, which stands for Reusable Proof of Work. Don't let the term scare you. What it does is revolutionary. Finney created a unique digital token generated by using your computer's processing power. Once this token was spent, the system marked it, saying, "This has been used, it cannot be spent again." And the best part? It wasn't a bank clerk doing this. It was pure mathematics. Finney gave Haber and Stornetta's 13-year-old time-stamping skeleton the muscle it desperately needed. And we arrive at that cursed year, 2008. Global markets are crashing, banks are toppling like houses of cards, and people are losing faith in the system. Right in the middle of this chaos, a ghost, using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, dropped a 9-page paper onto an email list. What he did was essentially complete a puzzle. He took Haber and Stornetta's unchangeable chain from '91, added Finney's double spin preventing proof of work, and completely deleted banks from the equation. When he mined a first block, the Genesis block, in 2009, he embedded this note: The Times, 03 Jan 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This was his way of saying, you no longer have to trust banks to protect your money. Trust the math. Looking at the big picture, it's this. That simple digital notary idea invented in '91 to protect document dates simmered for 17 years and finally transformed into the world's greatest tool for financial freedom. History taught us this lesson. Trusting centralized structures is always risky because humans make mistakes or get corrupted. But code doesn't lie. The story is just beginning here on StickChain. Are you curious about how this trust system was hacked at Mt. Gox, how it was used for drug trafficking on Silk Road, how billions evaporated overnight in the Luna disaster, and the schemes spinning in FTX's fancy offices? Security in the crypto world isn't just about strong passwords. It's about understanding what you're investing in. Subscribe and stay tuned so you don't miss the backstage passes to all this chaos and the lessons learned.
because we are starting to open the files one by one.